Sophie Cunningham's recent WNBA penalty has been officially disclosed, revealing the financial details behind a controversy that sparked unprecedented social media growth for the Phoenix Mercury guard. The Indiana Fever versus Phoenix Mercury altercation resulted in Cunningham receiving a $400 monetary penalty along with an additional undisclosed sanction for her involvement in the post-game confrontation. The total punishment likely remained under $1,000, considering standard league penalty structures. Important, audience magnet and TV and corporate genre history to business, as das for John Advance seen a very crowded male-dominant data sports landscape. I don't know if the WNBA are trying to succeed. I mean this, I don't know if they're trying to succeed. And you guys might say, I'm exaggerating, I might be wrong, but I actually don't know if they're trying to succeed. But it got bad enough that, as you tweet out, the WNBA continues to fail to meet the moment. Terrible decision to allow. This disciplinary action followed earlier tensions during the game. According to Fever head coach Stephanie White's post-game statements, elite competitive athletes naturally engage in physical play when the game allows such intensity, leading to players defending their teammates during heated moments. Within 72 hours following the incident, nearly 1 million supporters appeared to rally behind Cunningham's actions. The six-season veteran experienced explosive social media expansion, accumulating over 700,000 new followers across platforms, with Instagram gaining more than 244,000 additional users. Current social media analytics show Cunningham's TikTok account surpassing 1.1 million followers, while her Instagram reached 800,000 followers. Online communities began referring to her as the enforcer across various digital platforms. Her team merchandise became so popular that official jerseys sold out completely, with restocking scheduled for July 8th. The financial implications of this viral moment extend far beyond the original penalty. Previously, Cunningham charged approximately $10,000 for sponsored content through influencer marketing platforms. Industry standards suggest that creators with 500,000+ Instagram followers can command $20,000 per promotional post, though current estimates place Cunningham's potential earnings between $50,000 $70,000 per sponsored post. Marina may be saying the game people are watching is there before, and this is what I see, and this is before the Sophie Cunningham fell. This is before the Sophie Cunningham fell. Before the foul, she tweets this out. Chris Everett, this is when will these ladies realize this haven't appreciated? Caitlin Clark's the best thing that ever happened to us basketball. It's a by-look for the sport, and what happened to sportsmanship. And by the way, sportsmanship is what it is. It is what it is. I don't think Caitlin Clark is some beacon of sportsman, some picture of sportsmanship. Marketing experts note that brands typically spend over $1 million to organically acquire similar follower numbers. Cunningham's existing partnerships with Adidas and Quest Nutrition position her well for expanded endorsement opportunities, with multiple potential deals reportedly under consideration. The growth trajectory appears unprecedented according to her representation at sports management agency PRP. Senior director comments indicate that despite working with major athletes who have experienced viral moments, this particular situation represents uncharted territory regarding rapid follower acquisition within such compressed time frame. Cunningham capitalized on the attention through strategic social media content. Her TikTok video referencing the incident, featuring lyrics about being unable to keep hands to oneself, accumulated 3.1 million views within 21 hours. A separate celebration post marking her million TikTok followers further amplified her reach. Revenue estimates from TikTok's creator monetization program suggest she earned at least $1,500 from that single viral video, excluding additional income stream. Considering her current one-year $100,000 WNBA contract with Phoenix Mercury acquired through trade from Indiana Fever, the social media explosion represents a significant financial opportunity. Industry analysis indicates that if similar incidents occur occasionally rather than frequently, Cunningham could realistically earn hundreds of thousands in additional income, potentially exceeding $1 million annually through enhanced brand partnerships and sponsorship deals. The contrast between her $400 penalty and projected earnings demonstrates how modern athlete marketing has evolved. WNBA salary structures limit excessive fines since many players earn modest salaries, with $400 representing a meaningful percentage for lower-paid athletes. Previous predictions about penalty amounts proved remarkably accurate, with earlier estimates suggesting $350 fines for involved parties, including including Caitlin Clark, nearly matching the actual form. This situation illustrates how controversial moments can transform into lucrative opportunities for athletes who effectively leverage social media platforms. Cunningham's relevance has reached career-high levels, potentially establishing a peak that may define her marketability for years to come. 20,000 per post. Cunningham's current endorsements include Adidas and Quest Nutrition, with multiple new potential partnerships in the work. 20,000 per Instagram post for 500k is... depends on what the Instagram post is, to be honest, but that's high. That's high. It just depends on engagement. I think Sophie Cunningham can make about 50,000 per Instagram post right now. But, there's more that goes into metrics than just followers. As someone who... The incident occurred during heightened WNBA attention, with concurrent games featuring other marquee matchups, including Dallas Wings contests. The timing amplified the viral nature of the confrontation, contributing to the massive audience engagement and subsequent follower growth. Current projections suggest this momentum could sustain significant earning potential throughout the upcoming season, particularly if Cunningham maintains her enhanced social media presence while avoiding excessive on-court conflicts that might damage her marketable image. A recent controversy surrounding Christine Brennan and the Caitlin Clark situation has generated massive online engagement, with related content accumulating over 17 million views and continuing to climb beyond 20. This unprecedented attention highlights the current state of women's basketball discourse and raises questions about the WNBA's strategic direction during a period of unprecedented visibility. The situation escalated when prominent figures began publicly criticizing the league's handling of incidents involving Clark. Christine Brennan, widely recognized as the most influential women's sports journalist in history, expressed frustration with the WNBA's decision-making, particularly regarding the Marina Mabrey situation. Her commentary suggested the league was failing to capitalize on extraordinary viewership opportunities, with audiences watching women's basketball at unprecedented levels. Tennis legend Chris Evert entered the conversation, tweeting pointed criticism about the league's approach. Evert, holder of 18 Grand Slam titles and considered among tennis's greatest players alongside Serena Williams, questioned when players would recognize and appreciate Clark's transformative impact on women's basketball. Her statement emphasized concerns about sportsmanship standards and the sport's overall image. Everett's credentials carry significant weight in sports commentary, while debates continue about tennis's greatest player, with arguments favoring Serena Williams based on individual dominance and career interruptions that may have prevented even greater achievements. Everett's 18 major championships establish her authority in athletic excellence discussion. Who has a YouTube channel with 300,000 subscribers, a lot of the time you can get better conversion of YouTube than on Instagram in terms of ads, and even with 300k, at my absolute peak I might have gotten this, but even now, even though my numbers at 200k I would have gotten bigger numbers than now, so it depends. Right now I think Sophie Cunningham could get 60,000-70,000. The criticism extends beyond individual incidents to broader concerns about the WNBA's strategic priorities. Questions arise about whether the organization genuinely pursues success within the competitive male-dominated sports entertainment landscape. The league faces scrutiny for allegedly mishandling moments that could advance women's basketball's profile. Video evidence continues emerging around the Marina Mabrey incident, suggesting she may not have witnessed the initial confrontation before making contact with Clark. This revelation intensifies criticism about player decision-making and officiating consistency. Analysis indicates that games with early referee intervention typically showed reduced physical altercations. The discourse reveals tensions between different stakeholders. NBA players and casual fans increasingly discuss the WNBA in negative contexts, often focusing either on Clark's exceptional performance or perceived targeting by opponents and officials. This narrative suggests widespread belief that the league inadequately protects its most marketable star. Sophie Cunningham's subsequent involvement adds another layer to the controversy. While her actions may warrant criticism, the accumulation of incidents creates broader questions about league culture and competitive standards. Multiple controversial moments occurring consecutively damage the organization's reputation during peak attention periods on a, proper sponsored post, but you don't know if you want to do that at the end of the day. But it's a lot more than couple £100. It's unprecedented growth. Addison Z. who represents Cunningham as a senior director at sports management agency PRP. We work some pretty big athletes that have gone viral for some pretty big things. This has been something that I haven't seen before. This type of growth in a short amount of time. It's very new territory. It takes up post. She jokingly referred to choose an incident. Media dynamics complicate the situation further. Established sports journalists face challenges from emerging basketball analysts who may provide superior coverage quality. This professional tension potentially influences coverage decisions and creates conflicts of interest regarding Clark's prominence. The phenomenon mirrors developments in other women's sports, where traditional media gatekeepers resist changes that threaten established hierarchies. Similar patterns appear in women's football coverage, where veteran commentators face pressure from newer voices offering fresh perspectives. She instigates every physical occasion. These are dumbasses that actually get a voice. So, you've got Caitlin Clark getting hand-checked. There's literally footage of JC Sheldon clawing her skin, and her pushing off. So yeah, I don't care if they're going to allow claw her skin, let her push off. Like, that's on the referees. Like, by the way, if you look at games where Caitlin Clark did not initiate any contact, didn't get into it, there were games where referees called it early. Like, Christine Brennan's position makes her criticism particularly significant. As the preeminent women's sports journalist, her departure from WNBA coverage would represent a major credibility loss. The league's apparent attempts to marginalize such influential voices demonstrates questionable public relations strategy. The controversy highlights fundamental questions about the WNBA's objectives and decision-making processes. Unclear messaging and inconsistent responses to high-profile incidents suggest organizational confusion about priorities and long-term vision. Chris Everett's intervention represents a watershed moment, bringing external legitimacy to criticism previously dismissed as partisan commentary. When tennis royalty questions women's basketball leadership, the sport faces reputational challenges extending beyond traditional basketball audiences. The accumulating criticism from respected figures like Brennan and Everett suggests systemic issues rather than isolated incidents. Their combined influence represents decades of women's sports advocacy and journalistic integrity, making their concerns difficult to dismiss. Current trajectories indicate potential long-term consequences for the WNBA's growth prospects. During an era of unprecedented women's sports investment and attention, mishandling transformational opportunities could prove costly. The league's response to this crisis may determine whether current momentum sustains or dissipates. And not only that, like, the fact is there's even more footage coming out that Marina Mabrey didn't even see what happened. Marina Mabrey was not even looking, and she just decided to knock Caitlin Clark down. Like, Marina Mabrey was not even looking. Like, she didn't even see what happened. She just heard a commotion and decided to choke her on the ground. She did not even see what happened there. And then that's even worse. Marina Mabrey didn't even see. The situation demonstrates how individual incidents can amplify into broader institutional criticism when handled poorly. Multiple controversial moments occurring during peak visibility create compounding negative effects that overshadow positive development. Resolution requires addressing both immediate incidents and underlying cultural issues that enable recurring controversies. The WNBA must balance competitive integrity with strategic marketing considerations while maintaining credibility among players, media, and growing fan bases. The unprecedented attention surrounding these controversies, while negative, confirms women's basketball's elevated profile. Converting this visibility into positive momentum depends on organizational leadership and strategic decision-making. Moving forward, the situation demonstrates how individual incidents can amplify into broader institutional criticism when handled poorly. Multiple controversial moments occurring during peak visibility create compounding negative effects that overshadow positive developments. Resolution requires addressing both immediate incidents and underlying cultural issues that enable recurring controversies. The WNBA must balance competitive integrity with strategic marketing considerations while maintaining credibility among players, media, and growing fan bases. The unprecedented attention surrounding these controversies, while negative, confirms women's basketball's elevated profile.